Hello, my name is Chloe Helms, and today for my three audience members, I have my mom, Christy Helms. Hi. My dad, Keith Helms.
Hello.
And my friend, Kayla Ramos.
Hello.
My specific purpose is to inform my audience of human trafficking, what it is, its effects, and how to help and prevent human trafficking. With that being said, I'm going to share a story about a human trafficking victim named Suhana. She was a clueless young 13-year-old girl who was taken to a beach resort for work. After she realized that she was tricked into human trafficking, she cried and tried to refuse to work, but they forced her into it. She wished for death, and she also wished for rescue, and one day her wish finally came true. Suhana was rescued by the police enforcement and was later free. She was helped, went through therapy, and things started to change for her. But not for long, because she met a boy and she fell in love. The boy later convinced her that she should run away from therapy and her residence and come live with him. Sadly, Suhana ended up back in the human trafficking business for the second time, but luckily she was rescued again by the same police enforcement many years later in Mumbai. But not everyone is as lucky as Suhana.
Unfortunately, in India, sex trafficking is a tremendous problem. In the cities that we work in Mumbai and Calcutta, when you drive through the streets where these brothels are, there are thousands and thousands of girls that you would find lined up on the street all day long for anyone to come and have. And so many times what we find is that these girls are minor girls, young girls who have no choice, who have come into this situation by force or by trick, and they're not free to leave.
The situation is very, very bad. Young people from very poor families, they are targeted. Human being is not a priority.
Suhana is only one story out of the millions that are trafficked each year. Human trafficking is defined as the illegal movement of people, typically for the purposes of forced labor or commercial sexual exploitation. This business is an industry of modern slavery, involves mainly women and men, but are also made up of 2 million children and produces a profit of more than $150 billion a year. The real question is, how does this happen? Sex trafficking mostly originates from poverty. Most victims are lured into job promises, better lives, and even a thriving relationship. Because of the harsh living standards of poor surroundings, these people see these opportunities and jump at the offer and don't learn until later that they are now a part of the 36 million slaves that exist today. According to international trafficking, most victims are taken from South Asia, Central, and South America, and are later moved to more developed countries including Middle East, Europe, and North America. 161 countries are involved in human trafficking. Now that you're aware of what human trafficking is and the main places that it happens, we can talk about the endangerments of human trafficking and how it affects people. Human trafficking is very dangerous and is happening everywhere. This map shows how severe human trafficking is and that it doesn't just exist in our country, but also in America. Atlanta is actually the #1 city in America in the involvement of human trafficking. Most people involved in sex trafficking don't ever escape this life. The people lured into it are helpless and desperate for money. The ones who are kidnapped and drugged into human trafficking die within weeks. This is the issue and is life-threatening and needs to be put to a stop. Now the question is how do you stop the problem of human trafficking? Understanding how this affects people's lives and the endangerment of this issue makes people more aware of how dangerous and large this industry is. But don't worry, there's always a way you can help stop something. The Polaris Project is an organization that connects hundreds of organizations from around the world that help prevent human trafficking. Some of the organizations include Freedom Fund, Walk Free Foundations, Global Modern Slavery Directory, and there are also hotlines available to help reach more victims and understand where and how human trafficking is happening. These programs provide learning centers, job opportunities, data collections, and most importantly, they provide therapy sessions, workshops, and case managements. The most effective way of helping to prevent this problem is by raising awareness. On Polaris' website, it states by raising awareness, people are more adamant to help in reporting any cases and helping to fundraise for the organizations helping to prevent this problem. While these organizations are helping the issue of human trafficking at hand, there are some problems that arise. Most organizations can only help the problems in their central location and not globally. Human trafficking is a worldwide phenomenon, and the problem arises of being able to help any and all of the victims trafficking. There are not enough resources to help everyone. However, by raising awareness and getting involved in some of the programs Polaris Project has to offer, it can help prevent the situation and the number of victims it produces. Get involved in the organizations that are offered in the Polaris Project. Human trafficking is a worldwide problem and has been carried on for far too long. There are 14,500 to 17,500 humans trafficked into the U.S. alone annually. Simple steps can be taken to help the prevention of buying and selling of human beings. Although organizations do exist in order to help prevent human trafficking, more actions need to be taken. Putting an end to human trafficking will not only happen immediately or quickly, but by spreading the word and bringing attention to the issue, it can help put an end to this issue later on. Knowing what you know now, after listening to my speech, does this change your perspective of this issue? It will take time and also require help from many people getting involved in raising awareness. The time is now that we, as a whole, must help to save the millions of women, men, and children being harmed and abused every day. After hearing what, where, and how to prevent human trafficking, I hope my speech has helped to inform you of this large overlooked issue and encourages you to think twice about this issue.